Hello, this is Dr. Maureen O'Neill, and in this particular video I'm going to talk about Ncapture, which is the tool of going over to any of your social media sites or your database sites or even your websites and capturing it, the actual article or the document with the Ncapture snapshot tool. So let's have a look at what it means to Ncapture. And I'll share my screen to do that, and I'll show you how I step through the ability to be able to have Ncapture on my browser, which I predominantly use in Chrome, but I'll show you how to do it and bring it up in IE, but I tend to use it in Chrome more readily. So let's go over, and as you can see, I'll share my screen, and down here you will see that I have Ncapture on. And if you come up to the top bar, you'll see that there's a little icon, a little iBlueCon. And this indicates whether you've actually got it loaded on your browser. Now, often if you haven't seen this little round circle with a couple of dots and the orange top to it, and I'll show you what it's saying, it actually indicates this. I'll just move this over. It'll say Capture for NVivo, and the most important thing is, see how I have my NVivo project open. Have your NVivo project open at the time when you start going and searching for articles. Now, I found this a fantastic ability to be able to let me go cyber searching and keep on going without having to stop, export it to EndNote, then come back. I'm actually downloading it as I go, and then when I go to open up the project or have the project open like I have here, I simply can import it in all in one. I can either select what I want to come in, or I can bring them all in and then go and actually decipher what I want to keep or not. So it's a very good tool to be able to keep you going with your research and not having to come out of it and stop all the time. But so I've got it on my browser. The best way to get it on your browser is simply see these three dots going down on the far right hand side. Just click down and go to More Tools. And in More Tools, you'll see that another drop down comes up. You want to click Extensions, and then go through and see what extensions you have on your computer. Now, I had Ncapture and I enabled it. So anything that I want on my extensions, I just enable and it comes up. You can get more extensions by clicking here, and the download for Ncapture is there, or you can just go straight to the NVivo site, into the help site here, and you can actually, this is actually in the program of the help button of your own project. So if you open up your project here and you press down on your question mark, that will take you and open you up to a whole section where you can ask questions. And I asked about importing Ncapture over on the search bar, and it came up to me and told me about Ncapture, what it does. So it goes to a document that you may be looking at on the web or in databases. You click your Ncapture extension, and when you open up your project, it comes up. Now, if you haven't got the extension, you can click for Ncapture Help, and it will actually load for you how to download the Ncapture to your Chrome bar, or if you want it in IE, you simply do the same thing. You just go over to IE, you click down and you drop down to this Open with Internet Explorer. And once you open with the Internet Explorer, you'll actually see in the tools bar on the right hand side that you can actually go down and do, in the two bars here, you do managed add-ons. And in the managed add-ons, I haven't actually added it on at the moment because I rarely use IE, but you can actually see if you've got the permission to actually add on, and you click down to Ncapture and add it on. If you haven't, you just download. As I've said, you go here to the help button and you download, go to Ncapture Help within the program of your NVivo, and there'll be a download capacity to either download it to either browser. So keeping that in mind. Now, what does Ncapture do for us? Well, it's quite a good tool in the sense that if you wanted to go to websites, and I usually go to Scopus, and if I wanted to come into Scopus after I've logged in, I can actually capture anything that I've gone over to the database. Now, I know that if I click on this particular article here, which I did in Scopus, I can actually use all my export abilities. As you know, you can export it to your EndNote if you like. You can print it out, you can email, but you can even save it as a PDF. And once you save it as a PDF, you can capture it by using your Ncapture tool. But the other way that I normally do is just capture the abstracts as I go through to see if that's exactly what I need to keep my literature review going, and it captures all the details of the document. So I simply click down and I capture it. Now I can either capture it as a web page or an article. I describe it, Scopus document. I could put in the actual names of the authors, and then I capture. Now I've already captured a number of these, so and I'll show you how I capture. I just simply click to see what I've already captured, and Scopus document's already been completed and downloaded, so I'm not going to download it again. So just to let you know that it is possible to check what you're downloading as you go through. If I wanted to actually go and go to a website, I would do the same procedure. I've got my Ncapture tool. I click on my Ncapture tool. Now, instead of having a website here, I would capture it as an article, as a PDF, and see how it's changed it. That was what I can change it to an article. I'll change it back. Here's the original web page. It'll just take a bit to revert. But I don't want all the videos. I want it to come into my project perhaps as an article. That's what it would look. So it leaves out the video YouTube. But it certainly can capture it totally as a web page, and you can capture that YouTube live within the web page as well. So depending what you want in your particular project is how you actually capture it. Just remember that if you capture it as a PDF, it's probably a better way of being able to tag certain and code certain sections of it as well. So just depending how you actually want to capture it and how it comes into your project. And that's a very important issue. Now, the reason that I find this very helpful is I go far and wide. You can also open up Facebook or social media sites and use your Ncapture tool on those sites as well. For example, if you opened up an open page on Facebook and had comments coming in, you could certainly Ncapture them as an article or even as a web page as well. But this is how I utilize it. I can go over to the various websites, or I find it very handy to go to the databases and start a complete comprehensive look. And you can see that I've also captured this one as well, show capture progress page, which is really important. So you can see that I've captured, these articles at the Australian Sports Commission, the Winning Edge, and I've already done that previously, so I don't need to recapture any of those. So all I need to do now is, once I'm finished and I've seen that I've captured the actual pages that I need to capture, I simply go back into my project, and I'll just open up. I've already opened up my project because I normally have my NVivo going at the same time. And all I simply do is capture it. Now you can capture it straight away in the internal sections and then sort it from there. Or I normally have a literature or a folder that I've created. For example, I just go to internals, click create a new folder, name it. Perhaps the one that I've done here, literature for teaching sample, that I'm using on high performance athletes, that we teach this data from our teaching sample. And I actually have already got an empty folder. Now, there are two ways of bringing in the Ncapture. You can simply go up to data and bring it in from other sources. Or if I'm normally within the empty box, I just right click, import, import from Ncapture. Now, don't forget, Ncapture is a cloud facility. So it's storing everything that you're capturing on a cloud that is associated and are linked to your downloads. So remember that. So now I get a prompt saying, okay, where do you want me to go and get the downloads that you just saw that I've already captured on my capture progress? You must browse and you must go to downloads and then go OK. And as you can see, everything that I just captured, so all captured, not previously imported, which is great, you can actually get all your captures back up. But I don't want to bring anything else up that I've previously captured because I don't want to duplicate it. Now, if you do duplicate it, it's fine. You can simply, it will come up as a second version and you can delete it. But I just want to browse to my downloads, so remember that is an important aspect of bringing it into your project. And I simply want to now, because it's actually, I haven't, as you can see in the chart, I haven't previously imported. Now this is really good because as you can see, it not only gives me the details, if I'm very refined with how I'm actually describing what I'm bringing in, normally the Scopus documents, I put author names too. So it'll bring it in with the author names attached. It's got the HTTPS site that I captured it from, and perhaps if there's any DOI associated with it, but the whole lot comes in. And the reason that it's good to Ncapture is it goes straight into your source classification table. So you don't have to add it to your already formulated source classification list, and I'll show you that. But all I simply do now is import. It'll phase it in. You can see the progress bar down here. Just let it have a little bit of time to come in. So it's automatically doing the work for me. And it's not, if you don't bring in too many at a time, it may not take too long to actually come in. It depends if you brought them in as PDFs. As you can see, I brought them all in as PDFs, and there you go, there they are sitting up there. Let me open up the Scopus document and show you. So it shows me exactly what I actually went to. I can still hyperlink on anything that was hyperlinked within the Scopus data. I can view the references. I can go down, and I asked it, my search tank, it tells me exactly what I was searching for, combined sport and study and in high performance. So that's what my search parameters were, and it actually gives me everything, the original, the DIO, and it actually gives related references that I could actually go to as well. And again, they're all hyperlinked already, so I don't have to do anything. I just simply can come back into my NVivo project, open up what I've captured with the one article, and then go and scroll down through all the hyperlinked ones, all the references that came in, and actually keep going and actually capture more. So that's a way that I actually find that I get into a cycle and I can utilise Ncapture to my best ability there. Now, I've actually brought them into a specific folder, but if I thought that they belonged to another little literature folder that I've already created, I would just simply click and drag them across. So I just simply click and drag them. But I believe that these should all sit in this folder, so I'll leave it there. So if you go to your classifications, you'll see that I have a reference. Now we've talked about this. I'll open up my classification list. And my classification list is actually creating a ongoing list of all the authors and subsequent sites. Anything that I've gone to research, and it actually is listing down the title, as you can see here, whether it was a web page, whether it was a generic article that I brought in, etc., etc. And as you can see, if it had a secondary title, if it had associated data, if I go over here, what volume number, if it was an article, volume number and issue, the pages, as you can see, the effects of the intervention coming in. And so it automatically inputs it into my classification sheet. So I haven't got to go and actually add that. So that's the advantage of using Ncapture, in the sense that it will automatically add to the sheet. Importantly, you can see the ones that I've just brought in. So Australia's Winning Edge, the AIS Tally, the AIS page automatically just added when I just imported that as an Ncapture. So that was a really great benefit for me, because I'm not having to do that duplicated work and go and add them in. So just remember that it's really important to make sure that what you bring in, so when you open up, if I open up import again, it actually will come import the data. Now you can see it's ticked that I've always previously imported. I've already imported those into my data set. So I've got an indication that when I go and search again, I don't need to import them again, which is really positive, because I'm not duplicating and I don't have to actually, you know, delete any of the duplications. And it's quite easy. If I duplicated and brought those all back in again, I simply get a second lot coming up with 2. I just simply delete that. So then I can go right ahead and, as I said, start researching through what I've already brought in. So it makes it a very handy tool for researching and compiling that literature review. So I hope that actually has given you a little bit of a look at Ncapture and a look at the versatile ways that Ncapture can help you research as well, but also the important steps that you need to do to bring in Ncapture into your NVivo project. I get lots of questions certainly about, but I can't seem to, once I open up my project or come back to the NVivo project, I can't seem to bring in the Ncaptures. Well, the trick is they'll all be sitting on your downloads because they're downloaded to a big cloud space, and then you can bring them in from there. So I hope that's helped you. Good luck, and have a good journey with researching and using your Ncapture tool. Thank you.